Hey guys, come on in. I am going to go ahead and get started in just a moment here. I wanted to give you a few minutes to come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's me, your girl, Melissa D, Coach Mel. I posted to the group earlier today. I always post some type of question or challenge or something thought provoking. And the question I had today was, how many people are afraid to go live? How many people are afraid to go live? And I want to give you a minute to join me because it sparked something. Quite a few of you posted comments, and it went the way I thought it would. A lot of people have a fear of going live on social media, and not just social media, but like having to go live virtually. It's right up there with the fear of speaking, which literally, statistically, I've always heard it said that people have a greater fear of speaking, whether virtually, publicly, in person, than like dying, which is very real. I'm not negating or minimizing that fear, and I want to address it because for some people, it is quite paralyzing. For some people. So I want to address that. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to come on in and join me here because I am going to address it and I'm going to share a tool. I'm solutions driven. Anytime you see me put a question on my personal page, on the Activation Hour coaching page, it's usually leading down a path. Questions from me are breadcrumbs to a solution. So go ahead, come in, and I'm going to give you some solutions. Hey, I'm not like the most brilliant person in the world, but I do know what I know. And what I know is speaking. And there's a reason why I know it, and I can't keep that to myself. So I'm actually going to share some really good resources with you. And this is practical stuff because I want to see you win. And I have such phenomenal people in my online community, in my coaching community, my business community, and literally from the most phenomenal CEO and executives that I know to successful entrepreneurs, startup CEOs and founders to just the everyday person. Hey, Alana, glad you were able to pop on with me. Um, it just blew my mind that it doesn't matter race, class, gender. People really struggle with speaking, and like I said, not just going live, but it's speaking. And I remember my speaking coach said to me, which I have a coach, and this is why I can speak to this because I knew I was very serious about being a speaker. I sought out someone who can give me the skills of a speaker, and so he told me very quickly. He said, whether you're at an audience of one at a cocktail party or a networking event, or an audience of a couple of people on your live, or an audience of several hundred at an event, an audience is an audience. So if you're a speaker, speak. If you're a trainer, train. All of it requires you to do one main primary thing, which is tell your story. Sometimes we get so nervous. I posted it earlier and a lot of you chimed in and you had some very interesting things to say. Some people said, well, I'm afraid because I don't know if I'm going to sound like stupid or will my content make sense? Like we way overthink the content. And so I'm going to tell you how you can overcome that. All right. And I'm going to do it in 5 minutes or less. That's my challenge. If I can't do it in 5 minutes or less, then it's too complicated. So I'll prove it to you and I'm going to set a timer. Hey, Krisha, you love my setup here? I'm eCam all the way. So listen, the key, the essence of going live is having a story to tell. Stories make people stop. Somebody type that. Stories make people stop in their tracks. Either your visual pictures tell a story too. It could be a picture of you and it's highly relatable and evokes emotion, and people are like, oh my gosh, what are they posting about? What are they talking about? So stories are what make people stop and listen to you. So I want to just share really quickly. Like I said, I'm going to do this in 5 minutes or less. I'm going for it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my timer up and we're going to get moving. All right. There's my timer. My timer is set. So you guys spoke it, and you know what's funny? Oftentimes I tend to forget that like I create so much content I forget about it, and I always reference my webinar on plan, repurpose, and repeat. So when I asked that question today, coaches have coaches. So my coach has a challenge to our community. I told you I'm in an international like coaching community or whatever, and the challenge is I have to post some piece of content for my primary platform, meaning if you're a speaker, you need to do something where people are going to speak and hear you. If you're a writer, then you need to be posting to Medium or somewhere where people are going to read it. And, you know, just do something, but do it for 365 days. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I have never committed to a challenge like that for 365 days. That's grit and that's commitment. But the funny thing is, I've done it for longer than that. And there's something about numbers that freak us out. But anyway, I'm going to show you very quickly. And I'm committed to come on here for the next 5 days every day and give you a tip on how we're going to overcome the fear of speaking. Here's my solution. So here's an ebook that it's been sitting in my archive. I'm ashamed to tell you how long it's been here. This ebook, 5 Ways to Activate Sales and Humanize Your Brand. Now, some of you may say, well, wait, I'm not in sales. Yes, you are. If you remember, I said, some of you have heard me use the quote, you're not selling products and services, you're actually selling strategy. So if you have a strategy to help someone get from a problem to a solution, then you are in sales. Yeah, thank you, Krisha. Look, I was determined because I had to up level. You really pushed me. I love it, and it makes me excited. Here's the thing too. I'm a techie. I'm a tech junkie. So if I find something like a new tool or technology, this made me want to go live, right? So find the thing that's gonna excite you to do what you're scared to do. So the thing that excited me was having this tool. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I figured if it was something cool, then y'all would want to watch it and stick around. All right. So here's my solution. Literally, I dug into my archives, 5 ways to activate your sales. I'm committed to help you succeed in going live. And I'm doing so. This is like, I've been trying to figure out, well, when do I want to launch this tool? Do I want to give it away for free? Do I want to charge it? Because I literally, like, in my group, there's like well over 100 entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, speakers from around the world. And these people who I thought was so phenomenal, and they're still phenomenal, don't get me wrong, they all had a common fear. When our coach said, you better go live every day for 365 days, those people were sweating bullets. You hear me? Sweating pure bullets. So here's the solution. Today's solution, I'm going to jump right to it because my timer is running. So if you want a copy of this book, if you're on my email list, I'm literally going to send a video a day to you. So if you're on my email list, you're already winning. If you're not, I'm going to drop the link so that you can get these exercises and this challenge. Okay. So 5 ways to activate your sales and humanize your brand. All right. The one for today I wanted to get to, quote, your story is the one thing that makes you different from everyone else. You lived it so you can tell it. Okay. I've heard coaches call, I didn't even know this was a real thing. Give you a prime example. People have these life altering moments. There was something in your life, some occurrence made you shift from what you were doing in your everyday life, just going on about your business, to actually start the thing you're doing. Think back for just a second. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds. Something made you finally pick up the pen and start writing. Something made you start working at that craft and start making things. Something made you say, I'm frustrated with this job. I have to be a coach because I got to help people. What was it? Tell that thing. Tell the thing that made you mad enough, sad enough, angry enough, or happy enough, the emotional piece, because that's what you need to tell when you're going live. That's the appeal. Okay, that's the hook. Now, I'm going to go back for a second. Vocalize. The first key to humanizing, to going live, is you have to be vocal. Now, a lot of times we think, oh, well, I put a post up about my business, and people legit get mad And my timer's running out, but I'm gonna keep going. Matter of fact, I'm gonna reset this thing because y'all need this information, and I'm gonna get it out because I'm committed to do it. Got it? All right. So I can reset the timer. It's my live, and I want to do it because I want to get this out. Because I've been sitting on it for too long. I promise you, this book has been sitting on my computer for like a year. Shame on me. But sometimes you just have to release it when people are ready for the answer. I think you guys are ready for the answer. So number one, open your mouth and tell your story. I have so many clients who get frustrated and quit because they say, "Oh, well, I posted about my business and nobody's supporting me." If you knew a little something about social media algorithms, if you posted it that morning, particularly if it's on like Twitter or Instagram, they might not see it the next day. They just might not. Here's another one. People will tell me, "Well, I've been trying to get people to go and follow me on Instagram and buy from my business on IG, and then the first thing I go to your page and it's your personal page that's private. How can anyone buy from you if you're hiding behind a private page?" Unblock your page, tell your story, and keep telling your story, and keep telling it until you're sick of it, because there's always someone who hasn't heard it before. And even if they heard it before, maybe they need to hear it again so that they remember. There's a lot of noise and competition out there. Your job is to tell your story until somebody else can almost literally repeat it back to you. Okay? Open your mouth and tell your story. So here's the challenge. You ready? Because I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to give you another one. So in the next 24 hours, write your story in 2 to 3 paragraphs. And again, if you want a copy of this, I'll send it out to my email list, or you can join. You can join the Activation Nation community, Activation Nation group. It's private. It's only for people in my activation community who are serious. I want serious people, okay? You're right, Christine. It's the no-no for businesses. I don't understand why people do it, but legit, I promise you. Like, I've had businesses follow me, like, and promote and say, "Hey, I want to work with you." And if it's private, I'm not going to ask to follow you. Why? Like, you don't care enough to make your page public. But anyway, vocalize. You need to be your loudest brand ambassador out there until someone else starts speaking for you. All right? Be loud. Do not be scared to toot your own horn. Just don't. Because you worked hard to get it done. So vocalize. That's your challenge. You guys got 24 hours. I am going to come back here and check in with you. Write it out. Because a lot of times, if you have your story written, like even before I went live tonight, as much as I know my story, I still wrote out my points to tell you my story. So this is how I'm going to close out tonight. Before I jump off, I am going to send you this first part of the challenge. I'll post it in the group. I'll send it out in the email. But the activation hour did not start off as coaching. It didn't. Literally, I had a life activation, meaning I had my nonprofit came first, and if you know me, you know I'm passionate about helping people be seen and heard and tell their story. Like, I'm passionate about kids. I'm passionate about people, the people who are unseen and unheard, having a voice. I want everybody in the world to have a voice. I'm very kumbaya, right? And I remember one particular day, I had all boys in one of my groups that I work with at a detention center, and everyone was getting up and sharing poetry about their story, a life story. And at the end, one of my students said, "Well, Miss Melissa, you didn't share your story." And I was like, "Oh, well, no, the assignment's for you." He said, "No, but you have to do it too." And my kids held me accountable, and that did something to me. That activated me. And it was like, how can I have an organization that's all about empowering youth to activate their voice through writing and speaking if I'm not going to use my gift to write and speak? I can't teach it if I don't live it. And so through those kids, the activation hour radio show was actually born. I wanted literally just I wanted to hear other people's stories. My business started as a radio show, and it began to be coaching because I would ask people their story and they didn't know how to get it out. And I would ask people their purpose and they didn't know how to tell it. And so I started asking questions, and coaches are good at asking questions. That's what we do. So that's my story. And a lot of people don't know that. It literally, Me doing this came from a place of wanting to give you a voice. So vocalize. Here's your chance to use your voice. 24-hour challenge. My timer is up. Let's go. You're going to get a copy of this in the group. Make sure you stay connected. I'm setting my timer 8 o'clock for the next 5 days. I'm coming on here. There's 4 more to go. So I'm going to hold you to it. And I see who's on here. I see you, Alana. I see you, Christine. I see you, Krisha. I see all of you. Those of you catching the replay, I am going to look. If you comment, I will go to your page and look for your story. Post your story. Just pull the trigger. Just do it. Just jump and just. It doesn't have to be all fancy like mine or whatever it is. It's just because I'm a nerd. Okay, I love technology. Just go live. Matter of fact, the less techy it is and the less perfect it is, probably the more it's gonna resonate with people. Honestly. All right, that's all I got. Family, thank you so much. Don't forget, sign up for the mastermind coaching training. If you're a master of asking questions like me and you love to empower and activate people, I am certifying coaches May 2020. 6-week mastermind. Let's get it. Guys, have a good one. Stay activated and tell your story. Bye, family. See you tomorrow at 8 o'clock.